Hey everyone, so if you're in the final stretch for the JEE, you've just put in an insane amount of work. We're talking 2 years of your life, right? The sleepless nights, the ups, the downs. You've been through the whole gauntlet. And in this explainer, we're going to make sure all that hard work actually pays off in these last critical days.
You know, this quote really hits home. Just the fact that you're still here, that you're watching this, ready for this final push, that proves everything. It shows you're persistent, you have patience, and you've got the guts to face this exam. That's a huge deal in itself. So let's just take a second to acknowledge that.
So let's get one thing straight right now. These next 10 or 15 days are not about learning new things. The heavy lifting is done. You can't really add much more to your knowledge base, but here's the scary part. You can accidentally throw away 2 years of hard work with the wrong strategy. This is all about consolidating what you know and executing on it. It's time to protect your investment. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the mindset shift you need for this final countdown. Then we'll get into a solid strategy for these last few days, and then a battle plan for the exam itself. We'll also tackle some common pitfalls and finally wrap it all up with how to win the mental game.
All right, first things first, the final countdown. This is where we need to make a really important mental shift. For the past 2 years, you've been a grinder, just trying to soak up as much knowledge as possible. Well, that phase, it's over. Now it's time to become a strategist, someone who's smart about using what they already know. And trust me, this one shift, it changes everything.
So what does that actually look like, this strategic shift? Well, it means you stop trying to learn new topics. You stop trying to solve brand new types of problems. Doing that now can actually mess with your confidence right when you need it most. Instead, your entire focus should be on locking down what you already know and perfecting your exam day temperament.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we turn this idea into a real, practical plan for these last few days? Let's talk about how you protect all that work you've poured into this.
Let's break it down. Here's exactly what to focus on, and maybe more importantly, what to avoid. You want to be all in on revision and daily mock tests. That's what builds your confidence and your exam day rhythm. What you don't want is to be learning new topics or trying to fix your weakest areas. That just adds stress. And that last point is so important. You have to tune out the rumors from your friends.
Yeah, and this is a huge psychological trap. As your friends start taking their exams, you're going to hear things. Oh, the paper was so easy, and you might get overconfident. Or it was a total nightmare, and you might start to panic. Both are bad news. Your job is to just tune it all out. Stay in your own lane, maintain your own tempo, ignore the noise.
Okay, we've talked about the prep. Now let's get into the main event, your battle plan for inside that exam hall. This is all about how you master those 3 crucial hours.
Now, here's a really common and super effective strategy. Hit chemistry first. Why? Because it's usually the fastest section, right? You get some quick wins, you build some momentum and confidence. Then you move on to physics. This way, you're banking points in the faster sections, leaving a nice big chunk of time for math, which is often the one that eats up the clock. And remember, every subject is worth the same.
Okay, this next one might be the single most important skill you can have in that exam hall. It's not a sign of weakness to skip a tough question. It's a sign of a smart strategist. Seriously, it takes real courage to let go of a problem your ego tells you that you should solve, and to just move on.
And here's a rule to live by, the 5-minute rule. The real nightmare isn't just wasting 5 minutes on one question. It's getting to the last 10 minutes of the exam and seeing like 5 questions you knew how to solve, but you never even got to them. That's the disaster we have to avoid.
All right, let's get real about the common mistakes, the traps that so many students fall into under pressure. If we can spot them now, we can turn them into strengths on exam day.
Oh, this is a classic, right? Chemistry should be where you rack up points, but tiny, careless mistakes can just kill your score. It's so frustrating to lose marks you know you should have had. So what's the fix?
And you know what? The fix is kind of ridiculously simple. Just slow down. The problem isn't that you don't know the material, it's that you're rushing. By just investing 5 or 10 extra minutes in chemistry, you can wipe out those silly errors. And that small time investment, it's way more valuable than chasing some impossible question in another section.
And just to put a number on it, let's make this real. If you avoid just 5 careless mistakes, that could be a 25-mark boost to your score. I mean, think about that. That's a game-changing jump in your rank, all from just a small, conscious decision to slow down.
Okay, next up, the big one, the fear. So many students have that one subject, maybe it's math, that they just dread. And that fear itself can paralyze you and make you underperform even on questions you know how to do.
So listen, what's going on here has nothing to do with how smart you are. It's a mindset thing. It's a confidence problem. That little voice of fear in the back of your head, it creates this subtle lack of focus that you might not even realize is happening, and it just leads to repeated mistakes. Acknowledging that is the first step.
Here's another one that drives people crazy. You get to the end of a section, look at the clock, and realize you missed 3 or 4 questions that you definitely could have solved, if only you had the time. The fix? You gotta flip the script. You stop being a question taker, and you become a question selector. Take the first 5 minutes of a section, scan everything, and cherry-pick the questions you know you can solve. Bank those marks first. Then, and only then, go back for the trickier ones. This way, you never leave easy points on the table. In all of this, it all leads to our final and maybe most important section: winning the mental game. All these strategies are great, but at the end of the day, your mindset is what's really going to set you apart.
So here it is, your final checklist. Notice the goal isn't some crazy high score. Now, the goal is simple. Solve every single question that you know how to solve. That's it. Support that with good sleep and good food. And on the day, just show up on time and focus. The hard work is already in the bank. This is purely about execution.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. This isn't just a test of physics, chemistry, and math. It's a game of temperament. It's a test of your patience, and it's a measure of your ability to stay locked in and focused under pressure for 3 straight hours. Look, you've done the insane amount of work to get here. You have the knowledge. The very last piece of the puzzle is the mental game. So the only real question left is, how are you going to win it? You've absolutely got this. Now go and get it done.